Oh, amigos. Sing it with me. Hallelujah. It's time for the show with no name. Get ready for liftoff. 9, countdown with me.
6,
5, 4, come on, you know the rest.
2,
1,
0.
yes.
Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name.
Let's go. All right, amigos. All right. Welcome to another show with no name, another amazing week up ahead where we can make it happen. Whatever you want, make it happen. You got to start by believing, and then you got to put some elbow grease into it. Un poco de fuerza, un poco de ganas. Elbow grease. Amigos, welcome to the show with no name. We're going to practice our English while we have fun, while I challenge you, as we do every day. Also, a quick reminder, Feria del Libro is right around the corner. Oh, yeah. I hope you guys can make it. If you're anywhere near Madrid, if you're in Madrid, you definitely have to come. If you're near Madrid, you have to come as well. It's Feria del Libro Madrid at the Retiro Park. The Vaughn stand is stand 346. Again, it's stand 346, 346. And we will be there, all our amigos. I'll be there Saturday, June 1st and the 15th. So the first Saturday and the last Saturday, I'll be there from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. I know Jimena's going to be there. I know Kyle's going to be there, Richard Vaughn. So make sure you stop by stand 346 at the Feria del Libro. It's 3 weekends, and it's kicking off on the 31st. I'll be there the 1st and the 15th. And if you want more information on that, you can follow us on social media or go to that website. What was that website again? Oh, yeah. ¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop. Stay in the loop, follow us on social media, and of course, check out all our courses we've got now for the summer. We've got something for everybody, every level, every budget, every age. Check it out. It's grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. All right, are you guys ready for a challenge? Let's do today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz.
All right, amigos, welcome to our pop quiz. Oh, and have you met Valentina? You know, Valentina. Isn't this a perfume commercial? Well, also, Valentina is our assistant. So if you stop by our website, you'll be able to see Valentina and you can chat with her in real time and get advice or whatever you may need regarding English. It's all at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. And today we're going to be looking at something from the Von Tienda from a wonderful friend of mine, an amazing person, a person who is no longer with us. Don't worry, I don't mean it in the sense of that he's not alive anymore. He's alive and kicking, thank God. But I mean, he's no longer with the company, but I think not many people can say that they've contributed to the Vaughn method and Vaughn materials and the success of Vaughn as my great friend and your teacher, Richard Brown. And of course, we still have Word Maps, which is a book that he created based on his radio show. And so it's called Word Maps. It's got 50 different words. And the way word maps work is it's like a brainstorming. It's like when you write something and you cluster, you take notes and then you draw an arrow. And that's exactly what it is. And he takes words and he picks them apart and some of the most common verbs in the English language. So 50 different words and their most common uses. It's called Word Maps. And aside from teaching you tons of great vocabulary, it's Richard Brown. So you will be entertained and you will crack up. There's no doubt about it. So what I want you guys to do is listen to this little excerpt from Word Maps, available at vontienda.com. And today's verb is run, which right there we'll look at. Well, you know what? Instead of telling you, I'm not going to teach you the lesson. Richard Brown is going to teach you the lesson, and then I'll have a little challenge for you right after.
English with Richard Brown.
Hello there, and an extremely warm welcome to the Friday edition of English with me, Richard Brown. That's right, this is the show where we literally tear words apart. But today's show is going to be a slightly different one in that we are going to focus on one verb. We're not going to look at all the meanings of the word. We're just going to focus on the verbal uses of the word run. Okay, the verb to run, which whose basic meaning, of course, is correr. Okay, this is going to be like a phrasal verb special. So we're not even going to look at all the meanings of the verb to run. Run can mean loads of different things, but the main meaning is correr. And then we're going to look at the phrasal verbs associated with run. Okay, so to run means correr. You can run all over the place. You can run into a building, or you can run out of a building. So entrar corriendo or salir corriendo. Yeah, you can run into a room or run out of a room. Yeah, if you mention the place you're running out of, you have to use of. Okay, so he ran out, salió corriendo, but he ran out of the room. Okay, you can run up. You can run up the stairs, or you can run down the stairs. You can run up a hill or run down a hill. If the street you're running along is uphill, you're running up the street. And then you come back again and you run down the street. In the at home or in an office, you can run upstairs or downstairs. Yeah, subir las escaleras corriendo, to run upstairs. I'll run upstairs and get my coat. Yeah, I'll run downstairs and see who's at the front door. La puerta principal, the front door. You can run off. You can run off, which means salir corriendo, or you can run away. Yeah, you can run through somewhere. You can run through a tunnel. Yeah, he ran through a tunnel. He ran through the railway tunnel, being chased by a train. Or you can run along somewhere. For example, you can run along the beach or run along the beach front. Now, of course, with all these examples, the basic meaning of run here is correr. You can run on to a football pitch. Players at the beginning of a match run onto the pitch. And if they come from the bowels of a football stadium, las entrañas, yeah, we can say they run out onto the pitch because they're coming from inside. Yeah, they run out onto the pitch. If it's a normal pitch in a village, you might say, well, they just run onto the pitch. Okay, you can run over the hill, or you can run back. Yeah, if you forget your mobile phone, you've left the house. Oh, I need to run back to get my phone. Okay, volver corriendo. Okay, so that's a quick recap of the verb to run as correr all over the place with different prepositions.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. That's right, amigos. More information about Weekend Town, Vaughan Town, and all our amazing initiatives. Go to grupovaughan.com/ what am I going to say? Cursos destacados. grupovaughan.com/ cursos destacados. All right, let's take a look over here. We've got a few students checking in, but first, let me give you your challenges. We're really going to look at that word run today. So the first one, and these are ones that are not in the audio. These are ones that came to mind that I want to make sure you know. Ones that I would consider totally native. All right. So the first one is an expression with the word run, which means to check with somebody, to give them the information to see what they think about it, right? So Lara will say, Alberto, Dad, I want to go to the park. And I say, I don't mind. We can go to the park. Just chequea, consulta con tu madre. Cuéntaselo. That would be like the translation in general. I like to give you a situation because I feel like it can really paint the picture. Okay? So, or maybe you said something and I didn't catch it. And I said, ¿me lo puedes decir otra vez? Como repasarlo, decir, contar. Here, let me tell you what it says here. It says, chequear algo con alguien. Okay? We use it a lot. It's a very, very common idiomatic expression. Now, the next one it's a complicated idea, but let me see if I can explain it, because it's a really good expression to know as well. So let's say there's a really big team. Let's just say Barca. And Almeria comes to town, which is generally a team with a smaller budget. And Almeria really, really rose to the challenge, even though they were playing a giant like El Barça, right? So then after the game, you could say, les dieron guerra, eh? Les dieron un, what's the other way to say it? Un repaso might be a good way too. No? It means they rose to the challenge, right? It means that they didn't make it easy for them at all, regardless of the odds, la probabilidad. Okay, and as always, I want you to try and use these in context, because this way I know you not only know the idiomatic expressions we're looking at, but also you know how to use them, and preferably in your own context. And the last one, it's also something that uses run. All three of these have something in common. They have the word run in them. Okay, so it's run, ran, run, by the way. Well, this is poner los cuernos, to cheat on somebody, but using the word run. So let me run through these again. Run through is repasar. See? Run for president, right? You run, se presentarse, right? To run out of, as Richard Brown said, lo usamos siempre, quedarte sin. Let's see if you know these totally native ones that I'm giving you, and we'll take a look at some others as well. So, voy a consultarlo o consúltalo con tal persona, ¿no? Chequéalo con ellos, a ver lo que dicen, ¿ok? Ponles al tanto, ponles al día, ver su opinión, tantea maybe. You know, I'm trying to give you all the nuances here, todos los matices. The next one, dar guerra, dar un repaso, okay? That would be our second one. And the last one, acostarse con alguien, ser infiel. Okay, those are your three challenges from today's pop quiz. Don't forget, we've got a lot of phrasal verbs too with run, right? Run away, huir, escapar, fugarse, run away. You'll hear that in a lot of songs. What's the one that comes to mind? Janie's Got a Gun, Aerosmith. Run away from the pain, yeah, yeah. To run after, literalmente, ir detrás de algo, okay? To run across, toparse con. To get run over, que te atropellen. To get run over, okay? And run along, corre, arrea, run along, okay? Many, many uses. We've got a lot of idiomatic expressions as well. Here's one that's very similar. Les dieron mil vueltas. Similar to our second one, but not really. So les dieron mil vueltas. They were exceptionally better. We say they ran circles around the other team. Okay, to run, piénsalo. No, les dieron mil vueltas. They ran circles around the team. All right, so there you go, amigos. Just a few idiomatic expressions that have to do with run, right? To run away, to be on the run, a la fuga, and so many others. Let's see what you guys have. A lot of students here. Many are joining us in the live chat. Remember, even if you can't join us live, what I urge you to do is grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. And if you can't do that, then the most important thing is that you repeat the different things you hear on the show today. When you hear new expressions, new vocabulary, try and put them into practice. That's what I would recommend. All right, let's see who's in the house with us, joining us, ready to party, ready to have some fun, ready to learn some English. We've got Born to Iron Man. What's up, Born to Iron Man? Good morning to you. He says, morning show with no namers. There's Tudani checking in. Good morning, Tudani. David as well. Good morning, Alberto and mates. Wow, I see we've got a lot of people here who are eager to learn English, to practice their English. to enjoy English. It's wonderful. All right. There's Laura. Speaking of wonderful, lovely Laura in the house. And she says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. Nice one. Nice one. In the long run, toma, ahí tenéis otra. A la larga. In the long run, you guys are learning English. And the other one that's very similar that comes to mind with run, I'll say it, and I know you're going to know it instantly. To run around like a headless chicken. ¿Te suena? To run around like a headless chicken. Of course, you use the same one. And also, I forgot to mention this very common use of the word run as well. Manejar, ¿no? Llevar, gestionar. Elon Musk is running 3 companies, but he still finds time to tweet. That's crazy. Hey, if he can do it, and I think he's got like 75 kids. Well, either way, if you haven't heard it, folks, there's an FYI episode on Elon Musk. Last week, we looked at, remember, every Friday you get a new episode. Last week, we looked at talent on FYI. If you haven't listened to that yet, give it a listen. And this coming Friday, we're going to take a look at sleep. Oh, yeah, very important, essential. All right, let's see. Laura's taking a stab at our pop quiz. And I've got to say, I upped the ante a lot here today. Subí el listón mucho, because these are totally native. All right, Laura says, I'll write the report and I'll run it by you before sending it to the boss. Wow. To run it by somebody. Yeah, it means consúltalo, tantéalo, mira lo que run it by your mother, and if she's cool with it, let's do it. Run it by, consúltalo con alguien, chequéalo con alguien. And you can say it, let's say you need the information. Could you run it by me again? No, me das el detallado otra vez, la información principal. It's used a lot in business. Awesome, Laura. Bringing the magic already. Let's see. She says, I'm sorry, but I don't know the other 2, but I'm ready to write them down. Excellent. Let's see. Turani says, I don't know the first one. Well, don't worry. Laura got you. As a team, you guys are going to get all 3 of them, it seems. Let's see. The visitors scored against the run of play just before the end. The run of play. It's not the one I was looking for. I like it, though, Durani. Excellent effort. And let's see the other one here. My cousin, tercera persona, right? My cousin runs around on his wife, or ran around on, ¿no? So to run around, tendría que ser o con ese o en pasado con ran, right? So my cousin ran around on his wife. He's lost a very valuable person. Yeah, you can say to run around on someone, or also to sleep around. You'll see that in the upcoming FYI episode on sleep. But do you guys know it from a song? Think of the 1950s. Hey, 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 I'll keep away from a runaround Sue. Hey, runaround Sue. Sue, la que se acuesta con los demás. Oh, it's a classic song, and great job, Durani. Folks, I can't believe it. We've got to take a quick commercial break right now. We've got Chris Valrol checking in as well. And together, I think we're going to get all of these totally native idiomatic expressions that we got from Richard Brown's Word Maps. It's available at vontienda.com. Don't forget to stop by grupovon.com/cursos destacados to find out which course is right for you. And we'll see you at the book fair. Ooh, so exciting. Folks, we'll be right back with tons more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, informative. It's varied. Yeah, you get a lot of different accents here. Jimena and I, even though we're great friends, we sound nothing alike. Same with Rob Grams. I couldn't be more on the same page with somebody than Rob Grams. But when we speak, we don't sound alike. We may think alike. We may view the world similarly, right? But then if you hear us speak, man, it doesn't even sound like we're speaking the same language. But I think that's beautiful. That's what makes us unique. And that's why we do the Say What soundbite here on the show. This way, I expose you to every accent under the sun. And don't forget, you can hear a lot of different accents here on Vaughn Radio. We've got the gamut. You say la gama, we say gamut, pero no se pronuncia gamut. Gamut. We've got the gamut. So make sure you download our free app and you're ready to rock and roll with us every day on all our different shows. And you can also follow us wherever you get your podcasts as well. Folks, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? Yeah, come on, say what soundbite on the show with no name. To say what soundbite on the show with no name. Come on now. All right, folks, you know how this works. You know the drill. I'm gonna play this 4 times for you. You're gonna tell me what you heard. I'm in a goofy mood if you haven't noticed. You gotta be in a goofy mood sometimes. I'm convinced in my life, I don't know about you guys, but my sense of humor or my ability to laugh at life and myself has saved my ass. Or at least my mood. Man, you gotta laugh, especially when it's harder. You know? And it's great to be here learning and laughing with you guys. As I always tell you, even though I love my weekends, don't take them away from me. I love spending time with you guys and I always look forward to getting back at it. All right, folks, here we go. Here's your Say What soundbite. I'm going to play it right now for the first time. Take notes and give me your take based on what you heard. Here it is.
She marched to her own drummer. So I knew what style was, and there were three of them, my mom's two girlfriends, and they were all models and bit part actresses. And I would stand behind them, and they would all put their mirrors in the windows.
All right. There you go, folks. There's the first listen of your Say What soundbite. Let's see. What I'm going to do is give you a second just to let it sink in. And now I'm going to play it for you for a second time. Everybody ready? Here we go. Pay attention.
She marched to her own drummer. So I knew what style was, and there were three of them, my mom's two girlfriends, and they were all models and bit part actresses. And I would stand behind them, and they would all put their mirrors in the windows.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. Also, remember, you can come see me Saturday, June 1st and Saturday, June 15th. I will be at Feria del Libro Madrid. I'll be at the Vaughan stand, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you. All right, let's see. We've got some other students participating in our pop quiz. Let's see. There's Chris Valrol. She says, morning, awesome show with no namers. Oh, Richard Brown. Oh, man, what a great dude. What a great dude. One of my great friends. And he says, she. Sorry. Chris Valrol says, I want to run this appointment by my mother. Great. To run something by somebody. Okay, so let's see. The next one, he'd run around on his wife. We have to do the same thing I told Turani. It's either got to be in the past tense or it's got to be in third person, right? So they're the correct one. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what. Let me look at the rest of your sentence and I'll choose. He runs around on his wife. No, entonces es pasado. He ran around on his wife while she was ill. ¿Ves? A veces solo hay uno que vale ahí. And she says, I don't know the other one. Well, great job, Chris. Careful with those S's. Guys, I know you guys are superstar students, but those are novice mistakes over there. That third person or past tense. Also, run is a weird verb. It's a really weird verb because it goes back to its original state. So it's run, ran, run. It's interesting, right? All right, let's see who else is in the running. Es otra forma de decir en la carrera, ¿no? Está compitiendo. Let's see who else is in the running. There's Born to Iron Man, and I like your example already. He says, Real Madrid versus Dortmund is on June 1st. But I'd have to run it by, te falta el it, I'd have to run it by my bro because I'm not sure. All right. Okay, you got to use that it in there, but great job. Sure, I got to run it by, tengo que consultarlo con él, a ver lo que vamos a hacer. All right, the next one. I hope Real Madrid runs rings around Borussia. Me too. And that run rings around, another great one. It's the same as run circles around. O sea, esos son, puedes decir con rings or circles. But it's still not the one I was looking for, but it's great that you know that. Wonderful job, guys. Really, these are, I got to be honest, these are some of the toughest ones we've seen in a while here. All right? But this verb is so common, and you might as well know all the different uses, at least the common uses. And he says, I've never run around on my sweet wife. Oh, what a good guy. Excellent job, all of you. Laura says, great teamwork and great sentences. Born to Iron Man. Oh, yeah. All right, well, let me give you, before we move on to our Say What soundbite, run it by me again. So I ran it by him. La estructura, acuérdate, tiene que ir el it ahí. The second one, nobody got the one I had in mind, but it was great that we learned to run circles around, to run rings around. But we also say an expression that means to give a run for their money. So, Almería gave the big team a run for their money. No, les dio guerra. No se lo puso fácil. No era una pelea, un combate fácil. So to give somebody a run for their money. Okay, aquí pone, to give someone a run for their money. To compete very well against someone who is an established expert. So that's why I used the example of a team like Almería, who's in second division a lot of times. So a lot of times when they play against the big teams, and this is a true story, it's the David and Goliath thing, right? From the Bible, David and Goliath. Almería and some of those smaller teams, they give the big teams a run for their money. O sea, que les hacen luchar, les dan guerra, les dan un repaso, no se lo ponen fácil. And the other one we said is to run around. We get it from the song, hey, 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 run around, Sue. And also it reminded me of the expression to give somebody the runaround. You're giving me excuses, right? And that's in a Van Halen song. You're giving me to run around, around, around. Giving me to run around. Dar evasivas, dar vueltas, to be evasive. Come on, man, I asked you 3 times. You're giving me the runaround. Ahí se usa como sustantivo. Porque si dices, you're running around on me, you're sleeping around on me, significa que me estás poniendo los cuernos. You're giving me the runaround, you're not being straight with me. Me estás evadiendo lo que te estoy preguntando. Maybe if somebody's running around on you, then they'll give you the runaround. Ooh, toma, double trouble. Whoa, whoa. So excellent job to each and every one of you. And now let's take a look at our Say What soundbite over here. Laura's participating. And Laura says, I heard the paused voice of an American woman being interviewed and talking about her mom and her two girlfriends. They were models and actresses, and her mother marched to her own drummer. Excellent, Laura. Great ear. Wow. Excellent ear. You got it. You got the gist of it, and you've only heard it twice. So I guarantee Laura's going to get it today. She's usually really good at the say what soundbite. All right. Anybody else going once, going twice? Anyone else going to participate in the say what soundbite, which is really about giving your opinion in English, something we do every week in our question of the week, which, by the way, great job last week, everyone. Fantastic. You know the song? You can't touch this. MC Hammer. Boom, 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 boom. Can't touch this. My wife thinks the song is called Fantastic. Fantastic. But it's not. It's You Can't Touch This. If you haven't heard the FYI episode, English and Music, we do a lot of those misheard song lyrics, not just in Spanish, but there are misheard song lyrics in English that people say, what? What is he saying? Right? All right, folks, well, we've got to move on because, as you know, time is of the essence. Aquí no hay mucho tiempo, so it's time for our Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, folks, it's our Spelling Bee here on the show with no name. And as always, this is the part of the show where I really put you to the test because I fly, especially in round one. I fly through these words, and it's, I'm the guy I hate to be there. But unfortunately, there are many people like that, and I want to prepare you for the people who don't give a fuck if you understand them or not. And you know what? Sadly, it's not the majority, but there are some people out there like, if you don't understand me, it's your fucking problem. Those kind of people, you don't even want to be talking to them anyway. That's what I tell my, well, what if somebody's rude to me and I make a mistake? I'm like, well, you don't really want to, it's not somebody you want to be talking to then anyway, is it? Great. They just made your decision a lot easier. We just said time is of the essence. Well, they just saved you a lot of time. All right, let's see. Chris Valrol has something to say. And she says, I heard an American woman. And I'd say she talks about a woman, her mother, I think. She also mentions two girlfriends and something about mirrors and windows. Great ear, Chris. Wonderful job, ladies. All right, here we go with our Spelling Bee. This is round one. And these words do not have to be capitalized today. I repeat, you don't have to start them with a capital letter. Here we go, my amigos. Everybody ready? The first one is Thine. The second one is Thou. The third one is Doth. The fourth one is Twas. The fifth one is Methinks. And the sixth one is Hath. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovon.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, amigos. That's right. You know it. It is time to take a look at some words in our spelling bee, and I am blown away over here. Totally blown away. Give it up for Born to Iron Man. Also give it up for Laura, also Turani, and Chris Barrol. And yes, Born to Iron Man, you got it, buddy. Shakespeare in the house. We've got Shakespeare showing up on today's show. And why are we talking about Shakespeare? Well, we wouldn't have a lot of the idiomatic expressions we have in the English language if it hadn't been for Shakespeare. And today, in the year 1609, of course, I've got to get on my British here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little history lesson. 'Twas today. 'Twas is it was. Es palabra número 4. 'Twas today in 1609 that Shakespeare's sonnets were first published in London, and they were published illicitly, or so they say, by a publisher named Thomas Thorpe. That's right. And if you haven't heard the FYI episodes on William Shakespeare, well, my good friends, you are missing out. So many idiomatic expressions, so many words we use today come from Shakespeare, and I had no idea. In fact, you want me to be honest, I don't really like the chap. Chap is another way, a British way of saying boy. I never really liked the chap. Never been a fan of Shakespeare's, and some people say he's a fraud, that he stole his works. I don't know. Makes it very interesting, I will say that. Can you do a British accent? Let's talk about the family together. Together. Are you feeling better? Is your mother feeling better? How about your father? And your sister? And your brother? Are they feeling better? Oh, great. Lovely jovely. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right, I hope you guys are imitating with me. All right, well, what can I say? Wonderful job, show with no-namers. Once again, knocking it out of the park. And there's Lupe as well. Great job, Lupe. All right, well, let me give you these words. This is round 2. If you guys didn't get it on the first round, no worries. No worries at all. That's why you get a second round. Use it if you need it. All right, the first word is, and this is like a normal pace. The first time I went really fast, but they were short words. I will say that today. They're very short words today. All right, so what does that mean? I expect everybody to take a stab at it. The first one is T-H-I-N-E. The second one is T-H-O-U. The third one is D-O-T-H. The fourth one is T-W-A-S. The fifth one, M-E-T-H-I-N-K-S. And the last one, H-A-T-H. All right, folks, there you go. Those are your Shakespearean words, words that we generally don't use in this day and age. So thine is your Please move thine. I'm gonna put them into modern day phrases so you can get it. Please move thine ass. Please move thine car. Thine, tú, no, su, tú, posesivo. Please move thine ass at once. they added extra letters. The second one is thou. Thou shalt not. This one reminds me of the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou doth, that means you do something. So I doth love thee. That would be I do love you in Shakespearean. I doth love thee. The fourth one I already mentioned. 'Twas today in the year 1609. 'Twas is it was. Y así empieza. 'Twas the night before Christmas. And all through the house, all the creatures were stirring. No, not even a mouse. No creatures were stirring. Oh, I can't remember the lyrics. And the fifth one. Ahora diríamos, I believe. Back then it was methinks. Yeah, they used me at the beginning of the sentence instead of at the end. So methinks. Now, if you say that, you sound like a pirate who hath no business. And hath is have or has. So who knew it? We were going to use some Shakespearean English today. Remember, you don't need to use this, but it's good to be familiar with it at least. All right, folks, we'll be right back with much more Show with No Name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. where English is exciting. Don't forget to listen to all our other amazing programs that we've got all day long. Right after today's show, you can test your English with Jimena. After that, you've got the lunchtime show, sure, with Rob and Andy. After the lunchtime show, you've got Speak Up with Ruby, followed by Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Then you got the Salad with Dave Boyce. You got Kyle Miller and his program Drive Time. Don't forget, if business English is your thing, Kyle's got an awesome book called Business English. It's available at vontienda.com. Kyle will also be at the book fair. We've also got Chris Frank with Frankly Speaking. We've got the Probo Show with Rob Grams. No Excuses with Fitz. Richard Vaughn Live. And don't forget, guess who's back? Guess is back. Tell a friend. Guess is back. Guess is back. Guess is back. Guess is back. Hey, that's a cool promo for the show. Yes is back. Yes is back. Yes is back. Yes is back. You can tune in to the Hour to Empower on the weekends. I told you guys, I warned you. I told you I was in a goofy mood. All right, let's take a look at homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And this is where we take a look at words that can throw my students off easily. And to throw off, desconcertar, right? Descolocar, to throw off. So this is one that will definitely throw you guys off easily or not. We'll see. I love it. All right, the first word is the past tense of the verb jugar. So it would be jugó, right? And the importance of accents in Spanish. If there's no accent, it's jugo, right? Jugo de carne, but it's jugó, right? So yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm sure it's got other meanings as well. No es solo jugar, pero hacer el tonto, no? Como hacer que no te enteras. We'll look at some idiomatic expressions with it as well. All right. And the second one, for all you fashionistas out there, the second one is a kind of pattern of fabric. Now, I don't know very much about this, but if you want to listen to the FYI episode on fashion, I go over the basics. I mean, the stuff that I think anybody and everybody knows. So the second word is escocés, but I don't mean a person. I mean la tela, a cuadros. Tartán, you say possibly. Tela escocesa, tela a cuadros, tartán. Not Tarzán. Tartán, which is, yeah, well, if you've ever seen anyone wearing a kilt es eso lo que llevan, with their bagpipes. Well, that's the design. That's the pattern of the fabric. So the first word is jugó. We'll look at many meanings of it. And the second one is tartán o cuadriculado, el patrón escocés. All right. Also, I'm going to give you your Say What soundbite here for the third time. Please write down what you hear.
She marched to her own drummer. So I knew what style was, and there were three of them. my mom's two girlfriends, and they were all models and bit part actresses. And I would stand behind them, and they would all put their mirrors in the windows.
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. More information at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. Remember, you can also stop by the Vaughn Tienda, where we've got tons of awesome materials. My buddy Kyle Miller's got the business book. We've got our translation booklet, which has everything. It has the gamut. I used that word before. And I have 5 books. Let me go in order. English Everywhere. I've also got this book is The Milk. This book is The Milk 2. English on the Go. Aprende Inglés Viajando por el Mundo. That's the subtitle. And my latest book, this book is the shit. If you guys can make it to the book fair on June 1st or 15th, I would be more than happy to see you guys there. As always, it's a pleasure because a lot of times you're listening to me. And I do listen to you on the question of the week. I listen to you in the comments, but it's not the same as, sharing the same space. So I think that's awesome. I look forward to meeting you if I haven't met you and seeing you again if we have run into each other before. And there's another usage of run, right? I ran into him yesterday. Topé con él. All right, let's see how you guys did in our homophones. The first one to participate is Turani. And Turani says the 2 words correctly. And Turani says, you're not going to fool me, dude. Bueno, no dice eso. Pero pone, they aren't homophones. No. No way, Jose. All right, let's see if your classmates agree with you. The next one participating, Laura. Laura says the 2 words are and they don't sound alike. Ooh, I trust you guys. Let's see. Chris says, me thinks they are not homophones. That totally native is for making me laugh. Me thinks. You sound like a pirate. You sound like you're in Shakespearean English. But I think it's lovely, Chris. And she agrees. She says, me thinks they are not homophones. So right now, I have got 3 amazing students, Turani, Laura, and Chris, saying, no freaking way, dude. Well, let me just say both words. The first word is played. You played a great game. He played the fool. Hay una buena canción. Everybody plays the fool sometime. And very different than playing dumb. Vamos a explicarlos. If you play the fool, right, means eres el tonto de la película, right? If you play dumb, te haces que no te enteras. See the difference? Everybody plays, hace el papel del tonto, to play the fool, right? But just be careful with it because it got a very different meaning just with a little adjustment there. To play the fool, to play dumb. He doesn't know about it. Play dumb. No, haz que no te enteras, hazte el tonto. I think you say the same thing there. To play dumb. To play it safe, ir por seguro. So don't just think of it as jugar. Think of it as like, something that's just got so many. Look, let's do this. Play idioms, okay? So, a play on words, hemos dicho, ¿no? Un juego de palabras. Two can play that game. Eso es, ¿quieres jugar? Pues yo entro en el juego, entro en el trapo. Oh, he's going to try and fuck me over. Well, two can play that game, right? So that's another one. Child's play, pan comido. It's also the name of the movie with Chucky. I'm Chucky. Wanna play? Also, to play devil's advocate, right? To play somebody like a fiddle. Eso es como manipularles, hacer lo que quieras con ellos. My daughter plays me like a fiddle. That's what she does, right? But we love to play. She has a playroom, and we make sure we make some time for playtime. Hora de juego, right? So, and I'm sure you guys know it as well. Fair play, right? Fair play is something they talk about in sports. What about this one? All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. ¿Os suena hablando de películas? Chris, I'll leave this one to you. I'll set the scene. He's at a typewriter, and he's supposed to be writing a novel. And he just writes over and over and over and over, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And I'll give you a clue. The character's name is Jack, and the actor who played him. Come on, you guys have to know it now. Come on. Easy one. Let's see. You're playing with fire, Laura says. Wonderful job, Laura. You're playing with fire. Estás jugando con fuego. All right. A lot of expressions. So play. All right. The second one? Oh, bueno, es en pasado. Played. Okay. Played. The second one's plaid. He played on a plaid piece of fabric. He played checkers checkers es las damas, chess es el ajedrez, on a plaid piece of fabric. Played and plaid, they are not homophones. I'm not playing around. I play for keeps. Muchas expresiones con run y con play hoy. To play for keeps es voy en serio, voy a por todas, ¿no? No bromeo cuando voy a jugar, right? So let's see over here. Oh, Chris, you got the movie. It's not The Shining, no. Una N. The Shining. Jack Nicholson. All work. I think you say por mucho que madrugas no amanece más temprano. I think that's what you say in Spanish, right? All work, no play. Es como que tienes que estar equilibrado. No puede ser todo trabajo, la vida. Tienes que disfrutar también. And we all know what happens in The Shining, right? Because he's just, he's a nervous wreck, a train wreck, as we say, un desastre. And so The Shining, what a great movie, huh? El Resplandor in Spanish. I knew that one. Hey, they translated it correctly. The Shining, excellent one. So fair play, Chris. Fair play. Ahí te he visto. We don't only use it in the sports context, but fair play means ahí te he visto. No, ahí lo has sacado. So excellent job there. It wasn't child's play. And you guys are smart, but I know people who aren't playing with a full deck. You know that expression? You aren't playing with a full deck. No estás jugando con una baraja completa. Que te faltan unas luces, right? So there you go, my amigos. A lot of different idiomatic expressions, phrasal verbs that have to do with play. But just remember this, played does not sound like plaid. Excellent job in our homophones. All right, amigos. Also, we've got Laura, who has figured out our Say What soundbite after the third listen. Excellent job. Nice play. Nice play. Buena jugada. Nice play. A play es una jugada. También puede ser obra de teatro, right? Nice play. Siempre el contexto es todo. And Laura's quoting the movie as well. Ready or not, Here I Come. Oh, man, that's a great movie. The Shining. Gotta love it. Stanley Kubrick. And the music, too. The music is so eerie. Espeluznante. Eerie. All right, well, my amigos, speaking of movies, I think that's the perfect place to go right now in today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the show with no name. And I went to the movies this weekend. My wife, we try and go as a family thing because, we like to watch movies, even though there aren't many good movies out these days. I've got to be honest. I hate to complain, but man, they're still charging you the $10 for, or more. And the movies are pretty sucky. But I have to say, I saw one this weekend, which wasn't too bad. In Spanish, it's called Amigos Invisibles. In English, it's called If, which is a very clever title. Why? Because if, what does it stand for? Imaginary friends. Also, if, que sí existen. And it's about a girl who sees people's imaginary friends. And it's an interesting story. It's not, you know what? I brought my daughter because there's all these funny characters in it. But there were some scenes, with death and, family member. I don't know if it was great for young kids. I mean, I would say, kids that are a little bit older. My daughter enjoyed it, but I thought there were some scenes where I'm like, oh man, this is tough stuff for a kid. But I think you guys might like it. There were some points where I'm like, okay, we could thread the stories together a little bit better. But considering there aren't many good movies, it's a nice tale. Un buen cuento. And if you don't go see it in the movies, I say you wouldn't be missing anything because you can see it on once it comes to one of the streaming platforms. In English, it's called If, and it's produced and directed by John Krasinski, the guy from The Office. And it's funny because some of the scenes take place in Coney Island. And did I tell you what happened last time I was in Coney Island with my daughter? Her first time there? When we went on the Wonder Wheel. It's a very famous Ferris wheel in Coney Island. Well, we ran into, usando la palabra run otra vez, we ran into John Krasinski. So now I know what he was doing there. I said to my niece and nephew, I go, remember that day we saw John Krasinski at Coney Island? And my niece and nephew are like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, because I didn't even recognize him. They recognized him. And I was like, oh, right. Yeah, that's the guy from The Office. Well, he was obviously doing location scouting for that movie. And what does that mean? Just in case you don't know, just because my niece was like, ¿y qué es eso, location scout? Well, to scout is buscar. If you're a talent scout, eres un cazatalentos. So estás cazando las ubicaciones donde vas a rodar, ¿no? Que the ones that are right for your story. So since this story is about a magical place where a magical yet weird place where everybody's imaginary friend lives, well, what better place than Coney Island? It's a theme park / beach that's caught in the 1960s or 1950s. It's amazing. It's my wife's favorite place in New York. There's also a movie. Well, let's put it this way. Coney Island is in many movies. Requiem for a Dream. But also there's a movie, Woody Allen movie called Wonder Wheel, I believe. And it's a good movie. I'm not a big Woody Allen fan, but this is a good movie. Also, again, once you see the Wonder Wheel there and you're like, wow, that's something I grew up seeing and something I remember when I rode it for the first time. And now my daughter. And it's just one of those places that's stuck in time, but also you can still go to Coney Island and have the best day ever. And it's offbeat. Offbeat is poco tradicional. Offbeat. Many movies take place there, but not today's movie. No. The one I saw this weekend, yes, If. But this one takes place in an imaginary world All right, I've given you a clue. No more clues. Here's your synopsis. When a new toy called, all right, I'm not going to tell you the names because I just think it's so easy without the names. When a new toy called Who's Your Father, okay, joins whatchamacallit and the gang, a road trip alongside old and new friends reveals how big the world can be for a toy. Okay? So, So when a new toy called Who's Your Father? Eso es lo que decimos cuando no sabes, cuando no te acuerdas. Who's your father? John. Yeah, John. Yeah. Who's your father? ¿Quién es tu padre? Eso es un totally native. Suelta eso en tu clase de inglés. I talked to, who's your father? Tommy. Remember Tommy? Yeah. It's the Menganito. So when a new toy called Who's Your Father joins whatchamacallit lo usamos para objetos. Where's the whatchamacallit? La cosita, el eso, el chisme. I'm changing the names, obviously. Pero así te enseño también whatchamacallit and Who's Your Father. Joins whatchamacallit and the gang, y su grupito, a road trip alongside, junto a, old and new friends reveals how big the world can be. Y esto es la clave, for a toy. Para un juguete. Chris Valrol. That's right, Chris Valrol. This is Toy Story Part 4. That's right, Toy Story Part 4. I'm a huge fan of the Toy Story franchise, I've got to say. And yeah, great voices in English, guys. If you haven't heard these voices in English, you've got to rewatch these classics. And again, when I say that, I'm not, because sometimes people get offended and they say, wow, what do you mean? Hacemos el doblaje. You know, we're great voiceover artists. I go, no, I'm not saying you're not. What I'm saying is, if you want to learn English, if you want to hear the original people that were cast in the role, well, that's also cool too. You know, they can coexist. You know what I mean? But these are classics that you've got to see. And these movies are very punny. They have a lot of plays on words, que ya hemos visto, un juego de palabras, a play on words. So yes, that's right, Toy Story 4. And the names that I changed, when a new toy called Forky, fork es la cuchara, joins Woody and the gang. We just talked about Woody Allen. Well, did you know a Woody is an erection? You didn't know that? Well, I guess you haven't listened to the FYI episode on sex then. Because I tell you that. Woody, that's right. In fact, if your name is Willie Johnson, your name is Berga Berga. That's right, because you're Willie or you're Johnson. Yeah, just letting you know. Careful what you name your kids. Obviously, Richard, too. Richard, short for Richard, is Dick. And if you tell Dick is obviously Verga, but if you tell somebody, don't be a dick, no seas un cabrón. So it can also be Verga or cabrón, right? So, well, when they asked Tom Hanks about, doing the voice for Woody, voicing, se puede usar directamente el verbo, he said, and I quote, "It was terrible." Oh my God, not what I expected. I started recording Woody in 1991, and each film takes about 4 years. Did you guys know that? It takes 4 years to make a Toy Story movie. He says, "It was my very last session. And when I'd said the last line, they said, okay, great, thanks." And just like that, 24 years, over. All I could say was, oh my, oh my, oh my, over and over again. And my bottom lip started quivering. It's another way of saying shaking. I got in my car and drove away with the music playing and the credits rolling in my head. He said, I never began a recording session without wishing it was already over. Woody is clenched all the time. It's exhausting. And to be clenched is like your fist. To be clenched, nervioso, tenso. So that was very taxing Another way of saying tiring, o que pasa factura, is taxing. Makes sense, right? Te pasa un impuesto. I think you know what that music means. It means we've got to take a quick commercial break, but the good news is we'll be right back with part 4 of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the 4th and final part of today's show with no name. We're going to kick off with a double trouble. You want a challenge? You got it. After that, we'll hear our Say What soundbite for the 4th time. Laura's already figured it out, but I'm sure we can get some other people who can figure it out as well. Then we'll take a look at the scene from Toy Story 4, classic. We'll extract all the juicy vocabulary from it. Famous birthdays, name that lyric, and so much more, amigos. And when this show's over, you've got many other amazing shows, not only to teach you English, but to keep you entertained all day long. Oh, yeah. And if you can't tune in live, guys, you can get these programs, all of your favorite programs, wherever you get your podcasts. iVox, Apple Podcasts, iTunes. Well, ya no se llama iTunes. Apple Podcasts. Oh, Spotify. That's a popular one. Spotify, or el Spotify, as you call it. El Spotify. I hope you folks are having fun, and hope you're ready for a rockin' 4th part of the show. We're going to kick off with a really tough challenge, but I know you guys are going to give me a run for my money. Toma la expresión. You're going to give me a run for my money. Me vais a dar guerra. Vais a hacer justicia. Vais a merecerlo. All right. What was the other word I said? There was another one. Dar un repaso. All right. So here it is, my amigos. Your double trouble. Oh, yeah. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. All right, folks, it's time for your double trouble. That means we're going to use the same word twice. Oh, no. Are you serious? Oh, yeah, I'm serious. Oh, yeah. But I think you guys will definitely be able to help each other out if you can't figure it out by yourselves. Look at that. In our pop quiz today, it was a group effort, and great job. Hey. I get by with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. And the third line, I get high. También me coloco. So, me las apaño. I get by. I'm gonna try. Voy a intentar. And I get high with my friends. Man, para eso están los amigos, right? All right, let's take a look here. Te dije que no te chivaras de mis amigos que hacen carreras. Okay. Parece que tendrás que volver a la carrera de locos, la vida cotidiana. No, la carrera de perros, la vida de perros, la rutina. We've looked at this, and I can give you a clue. It's a Bob Marley song. And there are movies as well. There's even a movie that's called this as well. So, tough one today. Te dije que no te chivaras de mis amigos que hacen carreras. Parece que tendrás que volver a la vida cotidiana, la vida rutinaria, la vida de dejar la espalda, ¿no? La rutina. It's not a good thing. I think of New York City. When I think of this idiomatic expression, I think of major cities where people don't really have a life. They just work and then they go to their little apartment and they just sit there and connected to the computer. And I don't know. Hey, I'm not judging people, but I believe, there's more than just esta carrera de locos, which we all have to do unless you're independently rich, which is not my case. Well, then you have to join esta rutina, esta vida de perros, de trabajo, de dejar la espalda, right? El lomo, as you guys say. We do use that to break your back. Man, I've been breaking my back for 40 years. Aunque no trabajo físico, it's an expression, dándolo todo, empeñando. So, double trouble. You got to use two sets of words here. Te dije que no te chivaras de mis amigos que hacen carreras. Parece que tendrás que volver a la vida cotidiana, la vida perro, la vida de currar, la rutina. There you go. That's your double trouble. Also, let me give you your Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
She marched to her own drummer. So I knew what style was. And there were three of them, my mom's two girlfriends, and they were all models and bit part actresses. And I would stand behind them and they would all put their mirrors in the windows.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. That's right, folks. More information about Vaughan Town, Weekend Town, urban camps, and all that jazz. Just go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. Remember, you can also join our mailing list if you prefer to get things via email. And if you're following us on social media, well, then you'll know what we want you to know on a daily basis. Hey, book fair's coming, event this weekend, special deal. You'll be in the know, enterados. All right, let's take a look here at our double trouble. No. Laura says, way to go, Chris. I'll tell you something, Laura. You know what that is? Way to go. Ole. Way to go. No es lo mismo decirle, you have a way to go, te queda camino. Pero si dices empezando con way to go, es genial, lo has hecho. Kudos. Turani says, the team of show with no namers. I can't think of a better team. I'll call you guys the dream team. Chris Valrol says, no clue today. I'm thinking. Oh, you're racking your brain. You say exprimiendo los sesos. We say to rack your brain. R-A-C-K. Y se puede usar en plural también. I was racking my brain all morning, or my brains. All right. Anybody? I know you guys are thinking it over, but all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go to the movie And I'll leave it there for you, and we'll see if anybody can figure it out. And if not, I'll give it to you. So the movie is Toy Story 4, as I said. Bo Peep, little Bo Peep, the famous character, says, so you're with a kid. Estás con un niño, ¿no? It's not Andy, is it? No es Andy, no? And Woody says, no. He went off to college. Se fue a la universidad. But he gave us to Bonnie. Pero nos dio a Bonnie, otra chica. Oh, and Bo Peep cuts him off and says, you have a little girl? And Giggle McDimples, and that's funny, this word over here, right? So giggle is risitas, and dimples are hoyuelos, you say? The little things that you can get on your face when you smile. So it's a funny name. Giggle McDimples says, no way, no me digas, right? Because it depends on the context there. If she says, can you help me? No way. Ni de coña te voy a ayudar, right? But if you say, no way, it's no me digas, calla, right? It's like, get out of here. If I say, get out of here right now, you better run. But if I say, get out of here, I'm saying, no jodas. Eso sería la traducción vulgar. No jodas. Que no es don't fuck me, by the way. Bueno, estas cosas hay que saberlas. So then Giggle McDimple says, no way, no me digas. And Woody says, yeah, it's why I'm out here. Her other toy is trapped in this antique store, tienda de antigüedades. And Bo Peep cuts him off again and says, Second Chance Antiques? We know that store. Conocemos esa tienda. And Woody says, that's great. That is great. If you know the store, you can help me find him. And Bo Peep says, no way. We waited years in that store collecting dust. Y fíjate, ahora está diciendo no way, como no way, ni de coña. So that's funny. The first one is, no me digas. And the second one is, yo no voy a ayudarte. Fíjate, los dos, en el mismo texto aquí. So let me give it to you again. No way. Nuh-uh. We waited years in that store collecting dust. And Woody says, oh, Bo, that's awful. Awful es terrible. But I don't have a choice. No tengo elección. I have to get that toy from Gabby. Tengo que rescatar ese juguete de Gabby. And Giggle says, whoa, stay away from that weirdo. No te acerques a ese bicho raro. Stay away from that weirdo. And then Bo Peep says, if I were you, yo que tú, if I were you, I'd cut my losses and go home. Go home es evidente, ir a casa. To cut your losses es, mira, ya he perdido, no quiero perder más. Me voy a casa un campeón. You know what I mean? To cut your losses means to leave early. So if you're playing poker, okay? Guys, I'm going to cut my losses. Me voy. Yo ya no pierdo más. Abandono perdiendo lo que he perdido, pero hasta aquí hemos llegado. To cut your losses. Let's see what word references. To cut losses. Aquí está. Perfecto. Let's see. Reducir las pérdidas. Avoid incurring further financial loss. Well, it's not only financial, right? In a relationship, oh man, you got to cut your losses. Has perdido ya demasiado. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Seguir perdiendo? Pues sal ahora y sigue siendo campeón. That kind of idea behind it. So if I were you, I would cut my losses and go home, right? Losses is not loses, it's losses, right? A loss. L-O-S-S-E-S. Because si solo lleva una S ahí, it's loses. Woody then says, but Bonnie needs him to get through kindergarten. Pero le necesita para pasar lo que es el kindergarten, ¿no? Para atravesarlo, terminarlo. And Bo Peep says, oh, kids lose toys every day. Bonnie will get over it. Los niños pierden juguetes a diario. Bonnie ya se recuperará, right? Lo superará. She'll get over it. And Woody says, no. But you see, Bonnie needs him, just like Molly needed you. And then Woody says, oh, no, sorry, girls. Molly's not here. And Giggle says, Molly? Wow, I didn't know you had a kid. And Bo Peep says, that was a long time ago. And Woody's reminiscing. He says, oh, Bo's kid was something special. She was the cutest thing, but so afraid of the dark. And Bo Peep says, it was just a phase, right? Solo fue una fase de su vida. And then Woody says, oh, you weren't there from the beginning, hearing Molly crying each night. It broke every toy's heart. But then Bo came into the room. Her lamp was the only thing that made Molly feel safe. Mom would let her keep Bo on all night. Mantener la lucecita puesta. And Giggle says, whoa, who knew you were such a softie? ¿Quién sabía que eras tan flojo, no? Tan emocional, tan sensiblón. Who knew you were such a softie? La palabra soft con Y. And then Woody says, and Molly would fall asleep with her hand resting on Bo's feet. Se quedaba dormida con su mano apoyado en los pies. Okay, I get it. Ya tengo la indirecta. Lo he pillado, Bo Peep says. And Woody says, Bo, my kid really needs this toy. Will you help me? ¿Me ayudarás? For old time's sake, por los viejos tiempos. And Bo Peep agrees, and she says, all right, amigos. That was Toy Story 4. And now it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Birthdays for me. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. And let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. But before we start that, let's see. Laura's taking a stab at our double trouble. And let's see. She says, I told you not to tell on my friends who run races. I don't know it either. Well, I'll tell you what. Excellent effort, folks. And just be careful because telltale is evidente. So the telltale signs that someone has cancer is their skin is pale. Estoy usando un ejemplo, okay? This is not medical advice, it's an example. So a telltale sign, una señal obvia, ¿no? Que te cuenta mucho. Y la palabra que buscas, Laura, is a tattletale. Y el verbo is to tell on me. Don't be a tattletale. Are you going to tell on me? Chivarse, okay? But even though these are wonderful efforts, it's not the one I was looking for. So let me give you today's tough double trouble. I told you not to rat out my friends who race. Okay, te dije que no, to rat somebody out es chivarse. I told you not to rat out my friends or rat my friends out, lo que quieras, who race, los que hacen carreras. Looks like you'll have to go back to the rat race. Tendrás que volver a esa vida de locos, esa carrera de locos, esa vida de no parar, para arriba y para abajo, a matarse cada día. So, the rat race. It's a great song by Bob Marley. Rat race, rat race. And it's also a good movie, too. So, the double trouble. I told you not to rat out my friends who race. Looks like you'll have to go back to the rat race, la rutina, la vida de perros. We say carrera de ratas, no? Because everybody's just running. Gotta go. And the best place to see this is in a big city like New York. People are just they're just on automatic pilot. They're just, they're not even looking anymore. They live in the most beautiful, or not beautiful, one of the most amazing cities in the world, and they're not even paying attention. And that happens, I guess, right? Because you're too busy running the rat race. All right, today's birthdays. Number 1. This guy is a Spanish footballer, well, retired footballer. He played as a goalkeeper for Real Madrid, and they called him Saint. All right, Saint. The majority of his career was spent at Real Madrid. He also played for the Spanish national team as well and won everything available with them as well. And what else? His last name, if we translate it into English, is Pigeonholes. Yeah, Pigeonholes. Oh, and he's from Móstoles. Now, anybody? All right. That is number one. You don't even have to know football, soccer to know who this guy is. Number two, this guy tells everybody that they can leave their hat on. You can leave your hat on. I think you know this guy with the raspy voice. We already looked at the song, too, that I hate to say it, but he topped the Beatles. He did it better than the Beatles. The original song is great. Help from My Friends. But the Joe Cocker version, well, there's his name. So number two is On the House. Invito a la segunda. The third one, she is like Prince or Madonna. She just got one word as a name. That's it. She's the goddess of pop. I never called her that, but some people do. And she used to be in a duet with her husband, her former husband, Sonny Bono. I got you, babe. I got you to hold my hand. And she was the first person to use the effect that now you hear everywhere, and I can't stand it anymore, the auto-tune. Do you believe in love after love after love after love? And now, I mean, it sounded good in that song, but now it's like the whole song. It's not just one part. And so she's done so many other ones. And if I could turn back time, and so many other amazing songs. She's definitely an ace entertainer. And speaking of aces, give it up for Chris Valrol. Number one, Iker Casillas. Number two, Joe Cocker. And number three, Cher. Yep, she's like Madonna and Prince. She doesn't need a last name. And this is Cher talking about where she got her sense of style from. Because as well as being a singer and a performer and a dancer and an actress, she's also been known as a fashion icon. Even now that she's older, she's still got that pizzazz, esa chispa a la hora de vestir. And so she's talking about her mother. Where she got her style from was her mother. She says she marched to her own drummer. Que es una variación. Yo diría she marched to the beat of her own drum. Ella iba a su bola. Ella hacía sus cosas, a su rollo. So ella dijo she marched to her own drummer. Yo diría she marched to the beat of her own drum. Otra vez, I'm not going to correct Cher, but just so you know. So I knew what style was. Así que yo supe lo que era el estilo. And there were three of them. Eran tres. My mom's two girlfriends, los dos amigas íntimas de mi madre, and they were all models and bit part actresses. And a bit part is a little part, right? I have a bit part in the movie. Okay, it means small. And I would stand behind them. Y yo, pues me ponía detrás de ellas. And they would all put their mirrors in the windows. And she dreamed of dressing up like them and putting on her makeup. And, well, it worked because, as I said, Cher is definitely known as a fashion icon. Let's hear from Cher right now in the Say What soundbite.
She marched to her own drummer.
Yeah.
So I knew what style was. And there were three of them, my mom's two girlfriends, and they were all models and bit part actresses. And I would stand behind them and they would all put their mirrors in the windows.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name. It's made a lyric only on the show with no name.
Great job, show with no namers. Wonderful job. I couldn't ask for better students. Honestly, thank you for being with me every day here, learning, laughing, and even just your support, your kind words, putting aside the way that you kick ass in English. Just saying your kindness, que sois majísimos. Very nice people, and it's a pleasure, as always, and I mean that, or else I just wouldn't say anything. It's an absolute pleasure to spend these 2 hours with you guys, learning and laughing together. Thank you. We're going to go out with a bang. Nos vamos por la puerta grande with Joe Cocker and Unchain My Heart. Birthday boy Joe Cocker and Unchain My Heart. Desencadena mi corazón. Look up the lyrics and you can sing along with me. Thanks again, amigos. Unchain my heart. What a voice.
Baby.